Hello students, welcome back. In the previous session, you have learned about the Mauryan dynasty and the Ashoka as a great ruler. Megasthenes was a Greek ambassador. He was in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. He wrote a book named Indica, which is a source to know about the Mauryan administration. Let us continue and understand more from the topic of First Empires from class 6 Social Studies. Learning outcomes. You will be able to know about the important kings of the Gupta dynasty and their important contribution in different fields. Learn about some important contemporary kingdoms in South India and their architecture. Keywords. Clan, a group of one race people. Dynasty, a series of rulers from the same family. Empire, a large kingdom. Inscriptions, messages carved on rock surfaces. Astronomy, the study of space. Check the concept map. Gupta's empire, several small kingdoms fought with one another after the fall of the Mauryan Empire in North India. The earlier famous ruler of the Gupta dynasty was Chandragupta I. He ruled from Patliputra, which was also the capital of the previous Mauryan Empire. After Chandragupta I, his son Samudragupta became the ruler. The Gupta Empire in North India was expanded in his regime. He was a great conqueror and remained undefeated. The next important ruler was Chandragupta II. He defeated the Saka kings of the Western India. The Gupta period was famous for great books and development in literature, mathematics, medicine, and astronomy. They are widely used in the modern world too. There were 9 great scholars in the court of Chandragupta II. They were called Navratnas. The famous poet Kalidasa was stated as one among them. The Gupta period was famous for marvelous rock-cut caves. Some of the paintings and sculptures of Ajanta and Ellora caves are the finest example of that period. Inventions in mathematics. Aryabhatta was a well-known astronomer and mathematician. He was known to have used algebra. Indian mathematicians developed the idea of zero and the symbol to represent it. They created the symbols for the numbers 1 to 9. They also invented algorithms. Computer programmers today often use algorithms. Brahmagupta was another mathematician and astronomer. He calculated the solar year. Medicine. Charak and Shushruth were great persons who had good medical knowledge during the Gupta period. Shushruth was the first Indian doctor who carried out plastic surgery for damaged noses. Doctors of the Gupta period could set broken bones and perform operations. Indian doctors used herbs in treating illnesses. They believed that it was important to remove the root cause of the disease rather than the disease itself. Charak composed Charak Samhita. This was the basic text for Ayurvedic medicine. He was renowned physician of that period. Discoveries in astronomy. The Indian scientists of the Gupta period made important contributions to astronomy and science. They noticed the movements of the planets and the stars. They understood that the earth was round and it revolved around the sun. They said that an eclipse occurred when the moon came between the sun and the earth. They also seem to have understood gravity. The Indian scientists discovered all these things without any lab experiments in the ancient period. These discoveries are proven to be right by modern scientists after many experiments. The scientists of the Gupta period were experts in metallurgy. They made steel and iron, tools and weapons. They mined sophisticated gold coins. India witnessed great inventions and discoveries in science, astronomy, mathematics, and literature during this period. So, the Gupta period is called the Golden Age in Indian history. The great period of the Gupta Empire came to an end with the invasion of the Hunas. Do you know? The first Indian satellite was named after Aryabhatta. It was launched in the year 1975. It was designed and developed indigenously. Satavahanas, soon after the fall of the Mauryan Empire, many headmen of clans in the Deccan area emerged as small kings. The Satavahanas were one among them. They managed to build a large kingdom extending from the river Narmada to the Krishna-Godavari belt. They ruled from Dhanyakataka near Amravati in Guntur district. It is located on the banks of the river Krishna. Gautami Putra Satakarni was the greatest ruler of the dynasty. He defeated the Sakas, the Yavanas, and the Palavas. He conquered the land between the three seas and he got the title of Tri Samudradhishwara. The ship coins of Satavahanas reveal that Andhra had great skill in sea trade and naval power. They had good command overseas and good trade relations with Rome. Hinduism was adopted by Satavahanas. They also encouraged Buddhism. Nagarjunakonda and Amravati were well-known centers of Buddhism. The Buddhist scholar Acharya Nagarjuna is said to have lived in their period. Pallava Dynasty. They ruled their kingdoms between 200 CE and 900 CE from Kanchipuram of Tamil Nadu. They started the rule from the Krishna River Valley. They further spread to southern Andhra Pradesh and north Tamil Nadu. The Pallavas made a rich contribution to the architecture in South India. It shows a shift from rock-cut temples to stone-built temples. Mahendravaram I was an early famous ruler of the Pallava dynasty. He was a great patron of art and architecture. He introduced a new style of Dravidian architecture which was known as the Mahendra style. Narasimhavaram I was the next important king of the Pallavas. He was the son of Mahendravarman I and was known as Mamalla. He had converted the part of Mahabalipuram into a beautiful city of art and architecture. The style of architecture developed by him was known as the Mamalla style of architecture. The 5 rathas were built in Mahabalipuram. They are popularly known as Pancha Pandava Rathas. Each ratha has been carved out of a single rock. So, they are called monolithic architecture. Examples of Pallavas architecture: Mahendra style architecture, rock-cut temple monolithic architecture, Pancha Pandava Rathas, stone-built temple, Rajasimha style of architecture. Narasimhavarman II was another Pallava king who concentrated on temple building activities. He was also known as Rajasimha. A new style of architecture was developed during his period. Temples were built by using soft sand rocks. It was known as the Rajasimha style. The famous Kailasnath temple at Kanchipuram is the best example of the Rajasimha style architecture. Chalukya Dynasty. They ruled large part of southern and central India between 600 CE and 1200 CE. Pulakesi I, one of the first kings of Chalukya, ruled from Badami in Karnataka. Another well-known king was Pulakesi II. He defeated the emperor Harshavardhana in a battle near the river Narmada. This defeat of Harshavardhana by Pulakesi II was mentioned in the Aiol inscription located in the Bagalghat district of Karnataka. The Aiol inscription was composed by Ravi Kirti, who was the court poet of Pulakesi II. They made a rich contribution to art and architecture. A new style of architecture developed by Chalukyas was known as Vesara, and it is a combination of South Indian Dravida and North Indian Nagara building styles. Pulakesi II also defeated the Pallava king Mahendravarman I and crossed the Kaveri river. He made friends with the Cholas, the Cheras, and the Pandyas. Kushans. The Kushans originally migrated from China and gradually established an empire with its center in Afghanistan more than 2000 years ago. The most famous Kushana king was Kanishka, who ascended the throne in 78 CE. They controlled a large territory in present-day Pakistan and India up to Mathura and Allahabad. Besides large part of Afghanistan, the Kushanas also controlled regions up to the Oxus River. They effectively controlled the major trade routes passing between India, China, Iran, and Rome. This was the era of great expansion of trade between these countries and the movement of religious preachers, scientists, and artists. So, in this session, we have seen the Gupta Dynasty's achievements in literature, math, medicine, and astronomy. Ancient Indian invention such as zero and advancement in astronomy and medicine. Contribution of regional dynasties like the Satavahanas and Palavas in architecture and trade.